If you're a creator, you know the feeling, right? That constant juggle of brainstorming, creating, publishing, promoting. It feels like a whirlwind that just never, ever stops. But today, we're going to change that. We're going to take that chaos and turn it into complete control. I mean, does this feel familiar? You're just stuck on this content treadmill, and no matter how fast you run, you can never quite catch up. The second you hit publish, that clock just immediately resets. It is exhausting, and it's so easy to feel like you're just spinning your wheels.
And you want to know why we feel that way? It's because being a creator isn't one job. It's like 7 jobs rolled into one. You're a researcher, a writer, an editor, a promoter. You're doing it all at once. And switching between all these hats without a real plan, well, that is the fastest way to burn out and feel totally unproductive, even when you're crazy busy.
But here's the thing. The answer isn't working more. It's about working with structure. I love this quote from Cal Newport. He points out that a structured, time-blocked 40-hour week can crank out the exact same amount of work as a chaotic 60-plus hour week. The key isn't more hustle, it's a better system.
And that's exactly what we're going to build today, your very own productivity stack. Just think of it like a layered system where each piece supports the next. It's designed to help you reclaim your time, your focus, and maybe most importantly, your creative energy.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with mindset. That's our foundation. Then, we'll build a blueprint with structure. We'll power it all with a system, and then we'll hit the gas with the right tools. Let's get into layer 1.
Okay, first things first. Before any tool or fancy technique can actually work, we have to start right here. This is the foundation of the entire stack, your mindset. This is all about changing the fundamental way you think about your time and what you prioritize.
This right here is a total game changer. We all say it, right? I don't have time. But saying that makes us a passive victim of our own schedule. Instead, when you switch to I'm choosing not to make time, you take your power back. It's not that you couldn't go to the gym, you chose to watch Netflix instead. And hey, that's not a judgment, it's just an honest look at your choices, which is the first step to making better ones.
So once you're back in the driver's seat, how do you make the right calls? Well, the Eisenhower Matrix is an amazing tool for this. It helps you sort tasks by what's actually important, not just what feels urgent. Most of us live in that top left do box, just putting out fires all day. The real goal is to shift your focus to the top right schedule box. That is where the real growth happens, planning, strategy, and actually working on your big goals.
Awesome. With that new mindset in place, let's build the second layer of our stack, the blueprint. This is all about how we give our time a clear and intentional structure.
First up, we have time blocking. So instead of a vague to-do list that just stares at you, you give every single task a specific home right on your calendar. This completely eliminates decision fatigue. You're no longer asking, what should I work on next? You just look at your calendar and you do the thing. It's that simple.
And to make time blocking even more powerful, we use task batching. This just means grouping similar kinds of tasks together. So instead of checking your email every 15 minutes, you have one 30-minute email batch. Instead of editing a photo here and there, you have a 2-hour editing batch. This seriously reduces the mental cost of switching gears all the time, which saves you a ton of energy. Now, for those of you who want to take it to the next level, there's day theming. This is where you assign an entire day to one specific kind of work. For example, Monday could be your admin and meetings day. Tuesday is filming day. Wednesday is writing and research day. This allows for an incredible amount of deep focus, and it creates a really predictable rhythm for your week. You wake up, and you know exactly what your main objective is.
Okay, so we've got the mindset, and we've got the structure. Now it's time to build the engine that's going to power our whole productivity stack. This layer is all about creating efficient, repeatable processes that turn your creative ideas into finished content, consistently.
The absolute best way to work smarter, not harder, is with a repurposing workflow. Seriously, a huge mistake is creating one piece of content and then immediately starting the next one from scratch. No. Instead, create one big pillar piece of content, like a long-form video, and then systematically break it down into a bunch of smaller assets for all your other platforms. That's one effort with multiple outputs. It's a game changer. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This is a big fear for a lot of creators. When you start repurposing content, it's natural to worry that your audience is going to get bored or think you're just being lazy. You might be thinking, didn't I just say this in my video last week?
But let me reframe that for you. Repetition is a feature, not a bug.
Trust me, your audience is not paying nearly as much attention as you think they are. Repeating your core messages across different formats and platforms is how you build authority. It's how you become the go-to person for your topic. It's what makes your message actually stick.
Another key to systemizing your work is to stop staring at a blank page. For real, use templates for everything. For video scripts, for newsletters, for social media graphics. A template just means you're filling in the blanks, not reinventing the wheel every single time. This totally bypasses that blank page anxiety and saves an incredible amount of time.
All right, we have reached the final layer of our stack. We've got the mindset, the blueprint, and the engine. Now it's time for the accelerator. This is where we use technology to automate all those repetitive tasks and put our entire system into overdrive.
And listen, automation has a real, tangible impact. One study found that automating digital marketing can boost sales productivity by 14.5%. Now, for a creator, what does that mean? It means more time and more efficiency to focus on what really matters, that high-level creative work that only you can do.
First up, planning and organization. You've got tools like Notion, Trello, and Asana. Think of these as your digital brain, a central hub where you can manage your entire content operation from one place.
Next, you need creation tools that dramatically speed up your workflow. Things like Canva for pro-looking graphics in minutes, CapCut for auto captions that save you hours of tedious work, and Otter.ai for getting instant transcriptions of your audio.
And finally, scheduling and automation. Tools like Buffer and Later lets you post consistently without having to be glued to your phone 24/7. And then something like Zapier can connect all your different apps to put your whole workflow on autopilot.
You know, after all this talk about optimization and efficiency, it's really easy to get trapped in a cycle of feeling like you could have or should have done more. And this quote brings us right back to the real goal. The whole purpose of building a productivity stack isn't just to produce more stuff. It's to feel a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction with what you have done. It's about choosing to feel good about your work instead of beating yourself up for what you didn't get to. So, let's end with this question. The ultimate goal of all this isn't just about reclaiming time. It's about what you do with that time. Will you use it to learn a new skill, to experiment with a totally new creative format, or maybe just to rest, recharge, and spend time with the people you love? You've built the system. Now, what are you going to do with it?
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we try to make sense of it all, pulling the key insights from, well, a whole stack of sources.
Turning that info overload into something you can actually use.
Exactly. And today, we're diving into a world many of you know really well. It's exciting, sure, but let's be real, it can be totally exhausting. We're talking content creation.
Oh yeah, that constant pressure, right? For fresh stuff, high quality, across like all the platforms, it feels like you're always sprinting.
Mm-hmm.
We've all heard those creator burnout stories, maybe even lived them. Fighting with editing software, tweaking thumbnails again, those DMs that feel super urgent.
That's a juggle.
Totally.
Yeah.
Especially if you're solo or a small team, you end up wearing like every single hat.
You really do. Ideator, producer, editor, publisher, marketer, sometimes counselor, it feels like.
Yeah.
But look, our mission today is basically to give you a bit of a cheat code, this deep dive. It's about finding ways, strategies, tools to work smarter, not just harder.
Getting more done, less time.
Right, so you can actually thrive in this crazy content world, even with AI shaking things up. We're going to look at time management, some cool automation, and yeah, delegation too.
And we've pulled this from all over productivity experts, rundowns of the latest social tools, even insights from content licensing pros. The goal is to give you the really actionable stuff.
Okay, let's kick things off. Segment 1. The creator's workflow hacking your time and mental states. Because honestly, just trying to do it all at once, our brains aren't built for that constant switching.
No, they're really not. Jumping from, say, editing video to firing off DMs to writing an SEO script, it just leads to mental fatigue. You slow down.
You make mistakes, simple time management errors, often.
And what's interesting is we feel busy, right? We feel productive juggling all that.
Yeah.
But the data shows multitasking can actually stretch out your completion time, sometimes by up to 40%. And the quality often dips, too.
20%, wow.
Yeah. It's not just about speed, it's the mental cost. Every time you switch, your brain has to, reboot for the new task. You lose focus. So single tasking, that's actually the key.
Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we train ourselves? Our sources point to some really solid techniques. First one, time blocking.
Right.
This is where you literally block out chunks of your day for specific things. 10 till 12 is editing, 2 till 3 is brainstorming, 4 till 6 is maybe social media stuff.
And the real magic there, I think, isn't just scheduling time. It's that you're conserving your brain power, your cognitive bandwidth.
How so?
Well, you've already decided what you're doing when, so you're not constantly making those little decisions all day. What should I do next? You just follow the plan. Frees up your mind for the actual creative work.
That makes sense. Okay, but what if you start strong but then find your focus drifting halfway through a block?
Okay, good question. That's where something like the Pomodoro technique can be super helpful.
The tomato timer thing.
Exactly. Named after those little kitchen timers. You work in really focused bursts, usually 25 minutes, then take a short 5-minute break. Do that 4 times, then take a longer break.
Okay.
And this works because it kind of syncs with how our attention naturally flows. Those regular short breaks actually boost your focus and keep you motivated. You're working with your brain, not against it.
Got it. Okay, next up, task batching. This sounds efficient. Grouping similar tasks together, right? Like maybe record all your videos on Monday, edit them all Tuesday, plan captions Wednesday, that kind of thing.
Precisely. And the logic here is all about avoiding that context switching cost we talked about.
Right.
When you stick to one type of work, like all creative writing or all analytical stuff, you just get into a flow. You move faster, smoother. You're not constantly shifting mental gears. It's just cleaner.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, but what about when everything feels urgent? The to-do list is a mile long.
Yeah.
How do you prioritize?
That's where the Eisenhower matrix comes in handy. It's a classic for a reason.
Explain that one.
Sure. You basically categorize tasks into 4 boxes based on 2 questions. Is it urgent? Is it important?
Okay.
So you get urgent and important. That's do it now. Important but not urgent. That's schedule it. Urgent but not important. Delegate it if you can. And neither urgent nor important. Delete it. Get rid of it.
Delegate it or delete it. That takes discipline.
It does. But the key insight is focusing on the important stuff, the high-impact tasks. This matrix helps you cut through all the noise and make sure you're actually, moving the needle on what matters for your content, your goals.
Right. Not just being busy.
Exactly. And using things like KPIs, key performance indicators, helps you define what moving the needle actually means for you. Is it views, clicks, signups, whatever your goal is?
Makes sense. And there's one more simple one. The one thing rule.
Yeah, I love this one. It's deceptively simple.
Just pick one really important task each day, right? And make that your main focus. Ask yourself, if I only get this done today, will it actually make a difference?
Exactly. And the beauty of it is it guarantees you achieve something meaningful every single day.
Yeah.
It stops those days where you feel like you ran around like crazy, but didn't actually accomplish anything substantial. Consistent progress.
Okay, so those are techniques. But what about our mental state? Our sources mention Matt Jarrow's idea of 4 distinct states for creation.
Yes, this is really insightful. He breaks it down. First, preparation. That's idea capture, outlining, brainstorming.
Okay.
Second, production. Actually creating the raw first draft, getting it down.
Right, the messy part.
Then third, polishing, editing, proofreading, refining it, making it better. And fourth, publishing. All that, let's be honest, sometimes unsexy stuff like uploading thumbnails, tags. But it's crucial for getting your work seen.
So understanding these states helps how?
It helps you plan better. Recognizing that different tasks need different kinds of mental energy lets you schedule your day more effectively. Maybe you do creative production work when you're freshest and publishing tasks later. It helps avoid burnout, creates a better flow.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, let's quickly touch on some pitfalls we need to dodge. We already hit the myth of multitasking. Big one.
Huge. Just don't do it if you want quality and speed.
Then there's procrastination. We all face it. The advice seems to be break big, scary tasks down.
Yeah, exactly. Make it less intimidating. Just tackle the first small step, write the first sentence, edit the first minute, build that momentum.
And overcommitting. Saying yes to too much.
Definitely a path to burnout.
Yeah.
Learning to say no or finding ways to delegate is absolutely critical for your sanity and your sustainability as a creator.
And for the perfectionists listening.
Yes. Remember Salvador Dali. Have no fear of perfection. You'll never reach it.
Good quote.
Seriously, aim for good enough or great, not some mythical perfect. Otherwise, things just pile up, you get stressed, nothing gets finished. It's a trap.
And finally, something simple but vital. Don't skip breaks.
Please don't. Those short breaks, maybe 15 minutes every hour or so, they're not wasted time. They're crucial for keeping your focus sharp and preventing burnout. It's an investment.
Totally. Okay, this is where things get really juicy for creators, I think. Let's talk automation to the rescue tools for social media superpowers.
Yeah, this is exciting. Imagine having like little digital helpers robots basically handling all those repetitive, mind-numbing tasks.
And you don't need a computer science degree, right? These low-code, sometimes drag-and-drop tools are making it way more accessible.
Absolutely, it's changing the game. These tools can automate scheduling posts, managing comments, pulling analytics. It's huge.
So it's not just saving time.
No, it's more than that. It shifts you from being constantly reactive, just dealing with tasks, to being more proactive and strategic about your content. It frees up your brain for the creative thinking, the community building, the human stuff only you can do.
Okay, the tool landscape is massive. Let's maybe highlight a few examples that show different types of automation power. First up, AI is making a big splash here, like Social Bee.
Right. Social Bee has this AI co-pilot. You tell your goals, your brand voice, your audience, and it can whip up a whole social media campaign.
A whole campaign, like what does that include?
Platforms, posting schedules, the mix of content types, different categories, even dozens of actual post drafts. And it claims to do it in like under 5 minutes.
Wow, that's fast.
It's incredibly fast. The real power isn't just the content generation, though. It's taking potentially weeks of strategic planning and just collapsing it, getting a full strategy launched almost instantly. Plus, it handles things like automatically recycling your evergreen posts. It's built for scale.
Okay, interesting. What about creators who are really focused on the visuals, the aesthetic?
Yeah, for that, a tool like Pally is often mentioned. It's known for being pretty affordable and user-friendly.
What does it do well?
It has a really intuitive drag-and-drop calendar for scheduling, but also a visual planning grid, so you can actually see how your posts will look together on your Instagram feed, for example, before they go live.
Ah, so it helps maintain that consistent look and feel.
Exactly. It takes the guesswork out of visual curation, which can be a real headache otherwise. Frees you up to focus on making the content great.
Okay, one more. Maybe something super flexible. For connecting different apps together.
For that, IFTTT is still kind of the classic. It stands for if this, then that.
Right.
It's incredibly versatile. You set up these little connections, they call them applets. Like if I post a new YouTube video, then automatically create a tweet about it. Or if I start a Twitch stream, then post an announcement to my Discord.
So you can build custom little automations between almost anything.
Pretty much. It connects hundreds of apps and services. It's the ultimate set it and forget it tool for making sure all your different platforms are working together smoothly without you manually doing everything and no coding needed.
So the big picture here with automation, it seems like doing everything manually is almost a choice you don't have to make anymore.
That's a great way to put it. There's likely an automation tool out there for almost any repetitive task you're doing. Using them dramatically cuts down the grunt work.
Frees you up for the strategy, the creativity, the stuff robots can't do.
Exactly. It lets you scale your impact without necessarily scaling your hours worked. Work smarter.
Perfect transition to our final segment. The art of delegation, why and how to outsource content. Because let's face it, even if you're a one-person show, sometimes you just need help.
You really do, and the data backs this up. Our sources say something like 84% of companies are already outsourcing content production in some way.
84%. So it's not admitting defeat, it's actually a smart strategy.
Totally. Think of it like instantly expanding your team's capabilities, often without the overhead of a full-time hire.
So what are the big whys? Why outsource?
Well, the obvious ones first. Save time and money. Writing, editing, optimizing, posting. It all takes time. Outsourcing frees you up, and often hiring a freelancer or agency for specific tasks is cheaper than a full-time salary plus benefits. You pay for what you need.
Makes sense. What else?
Fresh perspectives. Bringing in outside talent can inject new ideas, different angles. It helps you avoid getting stuck in your own echo chamber, you know? Makes your content more interesting, stand out more.
And maybe reach different people.
Exactly. A different voice, a different style might connect with segments of your audience you weren't reaching before. Good storytelling builds those connections.
What about speed and consistency?
Huge factors. Outsourcing can help you publish content faster and more regularly, especially important if you're covering timely news or need a high volume. Plus, it lets you explore new formats. Maybe you want slick videos or complex infographics, but don't have the in-house skills. Outsource it.
Especially with content demand reportedly rising so fast, like that 49.8% jump in B2B content needs.
Precisely. Outsourcing helps you meet that demand, and it gives you flexibility. Scale up or down as needed without hiring or firing. You can also establish thought leadership by working with experts who can articulate your ideas powerfully.
And it opens doors for global reach with multilingual content, helps you pivot quickly if market trends change. Lots of strategic advantages.
The core idea is agility and access to specialized skills that are just really hard and expensive to maintain entirely in-house. It's resource optimization.
Okay, so what kinds of content are good candidates for outsourcing?
Well, articles are a big one. Blogs, long-form pieces, editorial content. You can even license articles from major publications like the New York Times or Harvard Business Review, which adds instant credibility.
Oh, interesting. Licensing.
Yeah. Also, graphics, infographics, custom illustrations, visuals are huge, and good design takes skill. Photos, obviously, and video production, which can be super time-consuming and technical.
Right. So how do you do it effectively? It's not just finding someone on Fiverr and hoping for the best, presumably.
No, probably not the best strategy long-term. It needs a plan. First step, do a content audit. Know what you have, what's working, where the gaps are, what themes are missing.
Okay, baseline established. Then what?
Set clear KPIs, key performance indicators. Define exactly what success looks like for this outsourced content. Is it traffic? Engagement, leads.
Yeah.
You need to measure the return on investment.
Crucial.
Then decide what stays in-house. Maybe stuff needing deep product knowledge like specific case studies versus what benefits from an outside view. Figure out your volume and cadence. How much content, how often. Provide crystal clear brand guidelines, voice, tone, style. This is non-negotiable for consistency.
Gotta sound like you.
Yep. And understand how your audience consumes content. Videos, short posts, long articles. Tailor the format. Then find your resources, get recommendations, vet agencies, look into those licensing options. And finally, circle back and measure success. Compare outsourced performance to in-house. Optimize your budget based on what works.
It's a whole process.
It is, but it's worth it. That 84% figure tells you something. It's moved from being just an option to being a standard best practice for scaling content effectively and connecting better with your audience.
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot of ground today, from navigating those tough content creation challenges, diving into really practical time management hacks like time blocking and Pomodoro,
To exploring the sheer power of automation tools that can give you social media superpowers.
and finally, looking at strategic delegation, how outsourcing content isn't giving up, but actually leveling up your game.
It really boils down to working smarter, right? Not just grinding harder.
Yeah.
The whole point is to free yourself from that feeling of being on an endless task treadmill.
Yeah, so you actually have the time, the energy for the stuff that really matters, the creativity, the connection with your audience. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. That's the core of it.
So as we wrap up, maybe a final thought for everyone listening. In this world where there's just so much content everywhere, perhaps the real competitive edge isn't only what you create anymore. Maybe it's also how intentionally, how strategically you choose to create it.
Interesting point. The process matters as much as the product.
Yeah. So the question to leave you with is, what's one small shift, just one thing you could make in your workflow this week to start reclaiming some of that creative power?